They smile at you to your face, but behind closed doors, they celebrate your failures. They ask how you are doing, only to understand how far you have come without them. And I need to raise my voice. Their silence speaks loudly enough. These are the modern haters. They pretend to be friends, critics who have never created anything but are always ready to destroy. And if you are not careful, they will draw you into their game. They will drain your energy, distort your name, and steal your success, all while pretending not to care. But this is not a video about a place. It is about protection, about how to regain control. Because when Machiavelli wrote about power, he was not talking about cruelty. He was talking about survival. He taught us how to deal with enemies without shouting, how to dismantle manipulators, how to win even when surrounded. This is your strategy for dominance, for peace, for a strength that does not shout, but makes them bow in silence. In this video, you will learn how to deal with haters using the timeless strategies of Machiavelli, how to protect your calm, gain quiet control, and turn their envy into a source of your strength. Let them hate. Let them watch. Because after this, they will never look at you the same way again. Before taking a hater to heart, you need to understand who they really are. They are not just angry. They are not just rude. They feel threatened. Haters do not pursue the weak. They do not waste energy on those who are going nowhere. They appear as soon as you start to rise, as your growth exposes them for what they are. Your progress reminds them that they are still in the same place. Your confidence shows them what they lack. Your very presence becomes a threat. That is why they gossip. That is why they mock. That is why they constantly seek reasons to discredit you. Not because you did something wrong, but because you represent everything they have not become. This is the dark psychology that Machiavelli understood so well. He was not afraid of enemies. He expected them. He knew that as soon as you start to take up space, as soon as you become stronger, you disrupt the comfort of narrow minds. You do not need to be loud. You do not need to be rich. Sometimes, simply having peace is enough to stir a storm in those who are still broken. So the next time someone attacks you for no reason, remember, they are not reacting to you. They are reacting to what you make them feel about themselves. This is the true reality of a hater. They are mirrors, shattered by their own insecurity, and when they see someone whole, they crumble. It is envy, it is fear, and sometimes it is rivalry, because deep down, they believe there is only room for one. One leader, one voice, one spotlight, and when you step out and forward, they feel displaced, as if your rise means their downfall. That is why they fight you, not because you took something from them, but because they think you can. Machiavelli understood this well. In politics, in power, in life, people are more likely to forgive offenses than the successes of others. How should we deal with this truth? Let us stop trying to change their perceptions. Stop questioning why we are hated. Accept it and move on. After all, those who hate are merely evidence that you are a threat to their small world. Your very presence disrupts their comfort zone, and that is power. The goal is not to be loved by everyone. The goal is to be so focused, consistent, and strong that even those who cannot stand you cannot help but pay attention. For once you stop fearing hatred, you become unstoppable. Sometimes, defeating a foe can be achieved not through confrontation, but by not allowing them to be heard at all. True strength operates quietly and strategically. Machiavelli did not believe in wasting energy on noisy enemies. He believed in disarming them from within, through setbacks and isolation, through quiet changes in loyalty and influence. Then, surprise your critics. Haters expect you to retaliate. They expect you to outsmart them. If someone spreads rumors, do something unexpected, such as praising their work in a group chat or sharing credit on a project. This disarms them. They cannot attack someone who supports them. For instance, to quell a rival's criticism, publicly thank them for their inspiration. The rival looks foolish, not formidable, while you gather your team. Machiavelli understood that loyalty is power. Share your time, skills, or even small gestures, such as helping classmates with their studies or supporting a colleague's idea. Those you help become your allies. When haters speak, your supporters drown them out. People trust those who give unconditionally, and that trust is your shield. Act thoughtfully. Do not give generosity away indiscriminately. Machiavelli warned against reckless generosity. Choose carefully whom and when to help. Your kindness should strengthen your image, not deplete you. A well-timed offer of assistance, for example, mentorship when the star of your detractors is fading, makes your rise undeniable. So use strategic generosity. Let us cleverly surprise your critics, build your army, and stay vigilant. Your haters will bow their heads, not because you fought, but because your kindness outplayed them, winning over the crowd and leaving them silent in your shadow. This is the strategy. Divide and conquer. When someone speaks against you, tries to turn others against you, questions your worth, or tarnishes your image, do not strive for them. Strive for their influence, because the truth is that haters do not stand alone. They rely on a group, a few listeners, a few weak minds that they can manipulate. Strip them of their audience, and the enemy will crumble. This is your true goal, the niche they create, and the people who repeat it. And you dismantle this echo not through struggle, but by planting smarter seeds. By not building quiet trust through crushing people, not through false flattery, but through genuine connection. Speak clearly, move confidently. Let your consistency and calmness speak for themselves. People around will begin to notice that something has changed. They will compare and wonder, if it is so bad, why does it behave this way? If it is not genuine, why do all the others treat it with respect? This is the first crack in the wall, and from this moment, the dismantling begins. You can use another Machiavellian tactic, indirect influence. There is no need to blame them or point fingers. Just succeed so obviously that others will begin to publicly praise you. And when your name is spoken with respect in a room where your adversary is present, they will feel the shift, sensing that they are losing control of the situation. Because the worst thing you can do to someone who lives for attention is to take that attention away from them. Let others lift your name. Let your actions speak louder than their complaints. Let your developments shatter their gossip, and gradually you will become the topic of who looks embittered, the topic of who is irrelevant, the topic of someone who is no longer taken seriously. All of this without a single confrontation. This is the mastery of Machiavellianism. Manage perception, influence the crowd, leave the enemy without attention. And here is the main advantage. When they realize what has happened, you are already 10 steps ahead, and they will not be able to repair their image because their own behavior has exposed them. They will not be able to regain trust because your presence has already taken the place they were used to controlling. You did not shout, you did not humiliate yourself, you simply acted like a strategist. And in the end, you did not destroy your adversary. You made them insignificant. One of the biggest mistakes we make is thinking that we can change them. That if we explain ourselves enough, are kind enough, patient enough, open enough, perhaps they will see us differently. But here is the harsh truth. Some people deliberately do not want to understand you. No matter what you say, no matter how much you develop, they have already formed their opinion of you, because your existence threatens them. Not your behavior, not your attitude, but simply the fact of your growth. Haters do not see you for who you are. They do not see you for who they are not. And when someone is filled with such resentment, no amount of conversation will fix it. No apologies will soften it. No evidence will change it. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He did not waste time trying to win people over, because trying to sway an enemy is like watering a dead tree. It looks like effort, but it brings no results. Instead, he focused on controlling the outcomes, on never stooping to explanations for his adversary, who was already looking for reasons to oppose him. Here is what you need to know. The moment you try to explain yourself to a detractor, you give them power. You invite them into your emotional world, and they do not come to understand you. They come to undermine your foundation, sowing seeds of doubt. Have you ever noticed that the more you try to justify your dreams, choices, or boundaries, the more they distort your words? They do not seek clarity. They seek control. That is why Machiavelli would tell us to stop wasting energy on people whose only goal is to overshadow your light. Not because you are better, but because your energy deserves more. The more time you spend trying to change a hater, the less time you have to create what they hate. Your success, your peace, your growth. And perhaps the most powerful move you can make is to stop striving for understanding. Let them think what they want. Let them gossip, let them laugh. Because while they spend time talking about you, you are doing what they cannot. Move forward. Do not argue, do not justify, do not explain. Just rise, and let your results be the loudest silence they have ever heard. It is no coincidence that the loudest people often disappear first. They burn out quickly, shining brightly and then fading away, because hatred is unsustainable. It is an emotional fire that ultimately consumes itself. But discipline, that is something else. Persistence is something else. Patience, that is where strength resides. Machiavelli believed that every ruler, every leader, must learn to work with fortune, with the unpredictable forces of time and fate. He knew that those who endure, who prepare, who build when no one is watching, are the ones who rise when opportunity finally knocks. Your detractors want a reaction now. They want to throw you off balance today because they cannot bear the thought that you are playing a longer game than they are. But here is your advantage. You do not need to respond. You need to outlast them. Let them mock. Let them tarnish your name. Let them tell stories, spread gossip, and feed small minds. Because while they waste their energy stoking the fire, you build quietly, confidently, without their permission and without their awareness. And one day, without warning, you will reach your goal, and then you will not need to say a word. Your success will speak louder than their years of noise. That is what they fear the most. Not your anger, but your ability to wait, to build in silence, to become unstoppable, giving them nothing to work with. They will try everything to pull you into their drama, but time is on your side. It is against them because time reveals patterns. Time shows who truly worked and who just talked. Machiavelli once wrote, "Fortune is like a woman. If you want to keep her, you must beat and intimidate her." Of course, we do not take this literally, but his message is clear. You do not sit and wait for your moment. You prepare for it. And when it comes, you seize it without apologies. This is how you overshadow your haters, not with noise or arguments, but with undeniable, visible transformation. Your brilliance becomes the final blow. Your calmness becomes their punishment. Your progress becomes the proof they never wanted to see. When your life speaks for itself, no rumors can withstand it. Gossip becomes irrelevant, and insults lose their power. By the time they realize they have wasted years watching you, you will be too far ahead to hear them. Remember, you do not need to be louder or harsher. It is enough to be persistent, patient, and focused. When they rise against you, rework them. Grow above all they have ever said about you. And eventually, they will not be part of the stories, just a forgotten voice in the background of your victories. Imagine this. Your detractors speak, whisper doubts, spread lies. They want to define you, diminish you, but you are here not to react, but to control the narrative. Machiavelli, the master of power, taught us that people judge by what they see, so shape what they see. Make your story so compelling and undeniable that the words of detractors crumble into noise. First, radiate strength. People are drawn to confidence, not complaints. Do not waste time arguing with critics. Show the world that you will not be stopped. Share a successful project. Talk about a goal you have achieved, or mention your next big step. For example, if a colleague criticizes your work, do not respond harshly. Instead, let your latest victory or a glowing client testimonial speak for you. Their gossip fades when your results shine brighter. Next, be purposeful. Machiavelli knew that perception is power. Shape your image like a chess move. On social media, share moments that scream your successes, such as photos from a conference where you spoke or the skills you are mastering. Let it be inspiring, not boastful. People appreciate authenticity, so show them your persistence, not just your achievements. This drowns out the negative remarks of your detractors with your own narrative. Then, connect with your audience. People support those they trust. Share a story, a difficulty you overcame, a lesson you learned. Perhaps you once faced failure but rose again. This vulnerability makes you human, not weak. It draws people to your side, leaving detractors isolated. When others see you as approachable yet relentless, gratitude becomes your shield. And finally, remain consistent. Adversaries feed on your mistakes, so do not give them reasons. Keep showing up, achieving, and shaping your story. If someone tries to belittle you, their words will sound empty against the backdrop of your accomplishments. You are not just silencing your adversaries, you are building a legacy that they cannot destroy. Move forward, control the narrative. Let every post, every action, every word become a brick in the fortress of your reputation. Let the world see you as invincible. Your adversaries will choke on their words. They have tried to distract you, whispering behind your back. They mocked your changes not because you did something wrong, but because you did what they lacked the courage to do. You moved ahead, and every step you took exposed their inaction. Your growth discomforted them. Your calmness brought chaos to their lives, and your silence spoke louder than all their chatter. But now you know the truth. There is no need to fight against hatred. Understanding is enough. And once you do this, you become invulnerable. Machiavelli never sought pity. He did not strive to be understood. He created such an unshakable force that no one could undermine it. And this is what you are building now. Have you learned why mercy can become a trap? Have you seen how false support hides true envy? Have you noticed how adversaries use guilt and doubt to control? And how to break this grip while remaining calm as they fall apart? You have mastered the art of exposure, allowing their own words to reveal their true nature. You have learned to divide, outsmart, and move in silence while they play checkers, and you play chess. But most importantly, you have learned patience, how to outlast them, how to create something so undeniable, so real, so powerful that they will feel it even if they never acknowledge it. And when that moment comes, when you walk into the room and their voices fall silent, this is no coincidence. This is not a failure. This is strength. This is dominance. The merit of silence. Because true power does not announce itself. It arrives. And those who tried to diminish your achievements will bow not because you asked, but because they have no choice. So if there is one lesson you take from this moment, let it be this. You never need to prove anything to haters. You simply must become someone they can no longer touch. Remain calm, focused, keep building, let the world watch, because they spoke, and you rose, and now they bow.